Hey everyone, my name is Kai, and I'm going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that I've made while learning the law of attraction. I've been learning the law of attraction for like probably since 2008 or 2009. That's when the idea of creating your own reality came into my life. But it was only till 2014 where I started to take the teachings really seriously. And just to give just a super quick backstory, the first time that I had a book about law of attraction or anything like that was the book Creating Money from Sanaya Roman. And that pretty much introduced me to creating your own reality. Even though that book was focused strictly on money, it was still about manifesting abundance of all kinds. And honestly, I do like the book. The book is really good, but I don't think it was the right thing for me at the time because well, this is the point. I'm going to talk about the biggest mistakes that I made and learning the law of attraction and pretty much learning how to focus your thoughts deliberately so that you can manifest the things that you actually want and not the things that you don't want because you really don't have a good clue on what you're doing. So I'm going to talk about pretty much some of the things that I've learned more so when I was first learning about law of attraction and the way I'm learning it now, because I'm pretty good at it. I'm just going to say it right now, I'm pretty good at it, and I learned so much from it. I guess I'll get back to the backstories later, but I learned a lot about manifesting. I consider myself pretty much, I'm really a pro expert, not to be kind of up my butt, but I guess the number one mistake that I made learning the law of attraction was when I was introduced to, I was introduced to the law of attraction just through my own searching and digging because I'm super spiritual and everything. This channel, if you've been on this channel for, when I was doing videos back in 2011. But anyway, I discovered this book, and during the time I was going through so much. My family was going through so much, and money problems. That was just the biggest thing, and everything was just fucking horrible. Just say it blatantly, everything was just horrible. And so when I was introduced to these teachings, I thought, well, perfect. Now I can change all these horrible things that's going on in my life. Most of them that I cannot control, which is 95% of them. And then my life will be perfect. I'll be happy and everything. So my number one mistake was that I was trying to use the law of attraction to fix my problems. And why that's a mistake is that when you focus on solving a problem through the law of attraction, because that's super hot now, it's law of attraction this and all this other stuff, but people sort of get half of it right. Yes, you can manifest things with your thoughts and everything, what have you, but the thing about it is that it's what you're focused on that manifests. So if you're trying to solve a problem, because this was 2008, 2009, the recession came about, my mom lost her job, I was in college, and it was just really, really bad. I consider that probably one of the worst years of my life. And this sort of shining beacon of hope called Creating Money by Sanaya Roman, I thought that's going to solve all my problems. So I was just trying to basically force everything into what I wanted to be, because I thought if I can create my own reality, then I can just force everything into place. What the issues my mom was having, what my sister was having, what I was having, everything. And why that didn't work, even though when I did the visualizations, when I was affirming and asking my angels and higher self and all that stuff, the reason why it didn't work is because I was still focusing on the problem. I was not vibrating on a solution. I was still vibrating on the problem. And that's really key when it comes to law of attraction and manifesting, is that whatever you are vibrating, whatever you are focused on, whatever you're feeling is what is basically creating. That's what you're creating, is whatever you're thinking and feeling and just what you're vibrating. You're not manifesting through your words, because the universe doesn't hear words. It only reads your vibration. And if like at the time I wish I had like more money, I can say I want more money and affirm that as much as I want. But if I'm feeling depressed and like garbage, then guess what? I'm only going to manifest more of those feelings and those circumstances, because even though I'm saying I want more money, I'm actually more focused on the lack of money than having of the money. So basically, one of the biggest mistakes that I made while learning to manifest, excuse me, is that I was trying to fix all my problems, and thus I was more focused on the problem than the actual solution. Now, if I knew what I knew back then, I would have let go all the issues that was going on, or at least just pretty much just not focus on them, because when you focus on the problem, it just grows. Whatever you focus on, it grows. That's like the saying, it's so popular. Like whatever you focus on grows, and that's very true, because that's what manifesting is. Whatever you put your focus on, law of attraction will make it bigger, make it just like more of what it is. So if there's an issue that you're having, but you're thinking the law of attraction by like forcing things into place, by being like, I have to make this work, because if it doesn't, then, you know, everything's going to be crappy and I'm going to be unhappy. Well, you're still focusing on the issue, and that's where you're still going to manifest anyway. You have to let that go so that you're actually in a state of ease, in a state of, I would say happiness, but not everyone is on the road to happy. Like feeling better, you gotta feel relief. That's like the best like standard to go by. Even though like, yeah, everyone wants to be happy and it's great to be happy. If you're in depression like I was back in 2008, 2009, then feeling better, feeling less depressed, feeling less crappy is where you want to go. Feeling less crappy versus trying to jump into happiness, because the law of attraction is not going to allow you to jump from depression, which is super, super low vibration, into like the polar opposite. Like that's just not going to work. So it's all about feeling better and taking those baby steps of feeling better. And then over time, your vibration will change, and thus what manifests around you. So that was the first thing, was that, you know, I was more focused on the problem, and I wanted to use law of attraction to fix my issues than, you know, actually focus on like what I actually wanted. Like I was never focused on what I truly wanted in the inside. I was just only focusing on the things that just trying to solve problems, and most of them wasn't even about me. Like I was completely focused on like other people, my family and everything like that. So that didn't really work out. Like it was only till again 2014 when I actually started taking these teaching seriously and really start putting a lot of like pretty much time and effort and study to really like gain all the knowledge that I've gained today. So which will lead me to my next mistake. Oh god, this is going to be a long video. Anyway, the second mistake that I made learning about the law of attraction is that, and I lost my train of thought. Oh, this is what it was. I was cherry picking the teachings. Like, cause right now, I just listen to Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, whoever, whatever you want to call it. That's the number one person that I go to when it comes to learning about law of attraction, because first and foremost, they have like all these amazing resources, like from YouTube videos, the workshops and recordings, DVDs, books, and they have the most accurate, most straightforward, clear explanation of law of attraction. Even though other people and teachers do teach it, and they might teach it well, they usually still have this idea that you have to earn things, or that you have to meet the universe halfway, and there's no such thing as meeting the universe halfway. You can just have what you want. There is no earning it, and just all these different little things that is inaccurate to the actual law of attraction. So I just stick with Abraham, because like I know I'm getting like the clearest, best described like message as far as law of attraction is concerned. But even back then I was in Abraham a little bit, but I didn't like it because I felt like my life was so crappy, and so they just saying like, you just think positive and just positive stuff will happen and things would just come out great, and I just didn't believe it. And so The second mistake that I've made in learning the law of attraction is cherry picking the teachings, as in you create everything in your life. There is no exceptions, from your family, your community, where you live, co-workers, your job, pets, like everything, even people that you meet in the street, strangers, and just even random encounters and things like that. All of that is due to your vibration. You attract literally everything in your life, good, bad, and the ugly. And so I could not understand how I could manifest like a dysfunctional upbringing and just really messed up circumstances. Like, if I can create my own reality and everything is supposed to be like of well-being, then how could I put myself in a position where I'm not getting that at all? Like, so there was certain things that I thought, yes, that works by law of attraction, and other things I thought was just random or karma, just some other spiritual laws that, you know, dictate my life that I didn't have any control over. Like, it was by the universe or, you know, fate, whatever, past lives, whatever. I thought those things overrode my own desires and what I wanted. But the truth was, I did, like, my focus and what I paid attention to and put my focus into manifest everything that was around me, even the bad stuff. And it was a lot of bad stuff. And, you know, it's really hard to accept responsibility for your life, especially when it's crappy or you grew up in a crappy home. At the same time, unless you really understand that you create your own reality and that everything is of your creation, and yes, if you created it, you can change it, and, you know, you have that responsibility to create it and to change it and everything like that, then you can't just say, oh, I created this, but I didn't create that. You can't just accept the good things, but say I didn't create the bad things. Like, you have to accept everything, or else you really are not the creator that you so want to believe that you are, because you're giving your power away to other people, places, and things and circumstances, whether it's like your boss or politics or something spiritual like past lives or God, whoever, whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, when you pass off your own power to other things, no matter what those things are, that means you have no control anymore. You gave that control to something else, so that you can't create your own reality as you think you can. You just gave up that power, because now you're only focusing on just the little bit of power you gave yourself, and you gave everything else to everyone else. And that makes sense. So that was the second mistake that I made, is that I was cherry picking what I thought I manifested and what I didn't manifest. And so I guess we'll get to the last one, because this video is getting kind of long. I really don't know. I haven't really planned this out. Again, this is like on a whim, so I apologize. But I think the third mistake that I've learned in manifesting is that I think this is a mistake I make all the time, but I'm starting to learn to not do this. But once things start getting good, once I start things manifesting and coming together the way I want them to, suddenly it's like this urge to just like take over the whole process. Like, I relax and chill, let everything come, and it does in amazing ways. But then I get like this like urgency of like, I gotta make everything happen. I gotta like control everything. And then I start trying to control it, and then I get like nervous and like a hot mess and a wreck, and then everything just sort of like dissolves. Like, all the hard work that well, not hard work, but all of the focus, positive focus that I put into, you know, my life and just joy and everything like that, once I start getting all squirrely with it and trying to make things happen and force things into place, it just kind of dissolves. And so that's a big mistake that I'm learning now. Like, I'm changing that now. But I made that mistake from 2008 and even before then. Like, the thing about the law of attraction is that there is no earning of anything. You attract everything by your vibration. Like, everything is by your vibration. It's not about your actions. It's not about what you do. It's not what you give other people or any of that stuff. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about your vibration. If you hold the vibration of what you want, you're in alignment to who you really are, then whatever it is that you need to do to like experience your desires, you will be inspired to do it. It will just come to you. It will be like an invitation. It will be loud and clear. You wouldn't have to effort. You wouldn't have to force it into place. You wouldn't have to like beat around the bush. You wouldn't have to do any of those things. If you're doing any of that stuff, that means you're in resistance. You might think you're like, oh, you know, I'm really in a good place, but if you feel like you have to put effort or struggle or any of that stuff, then you're really not. That's signs of resistance. That's the feeling of resistance. And yeah, I would like try to put my all into everything, and then I get mad and frustrated and feel like, oh, you know, it can't come to me easily, and you know, then the universe just validates that vibration I have of like not being good enough, or you know, I can work as hard as I can, but things doesn't work out, or you know, just that whole trying to prove yourself thing, and I'm trying to prove myself because I feel like I'm not good enough already. So of course that's what I'm vibrating, and so that's what the universe is delivering to me. So you know, there's plenty of times where things was getting really good, and then I would start to like do that proving myself and like overworking things and stuff like that, and then it will all just dissolve. That actually happened earlier this year, and I was really devastated because I wanted to like do all these different things, including like getting on YouTube again and just having a better camera and just blah 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 blah, and like everything just kind of dissolved once things start getting good. And it was just, I was really like angry and depressed and everything, but I'm finally over it now, and things is getting back good again. But that urge that I have to like kind of prove myself and like force things into place and like, oh, I want to make even more money, let me like try to do all these different things, you know, now I'm like not doing that anymore. I'm just like, you know what, let me just chill out, let me relax, because things are good now. Let me focus on what's going good instead of like trying to make things happen, because that's the universe's job. It's not our job to force the how. It's not our job to figure out how to get to point A to point B. Our job is to keep that vision nice and clear, that vibration, so that the universe can deliver that to us, because that's the only thing that it reads. It doesn't read your words, it doesn't read your actions, it doesn't read what other people think or feel about you, like none of that stuff. It's strictly about your vibration. That's why, again, going back to the second point, you can't cherry pick the teachings, because everything is manifested by your vibration. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You can't cherry pick any of it. It's all about your vibration. You got here because of your vibration. You wanted to be here, and you've been vibrating and just focusing on all kinds of things since, you know, you was in the womb. So, you know, all the things that we, you know, that is around us, especially now, you know, is by our focus. And if we're thinking sloppily, or you know, focusing just everywhere, or just on the bad things, just whatever, or we're like being really, you know, deliberate, we're being really intentional with where we're focusing our, you know, our minds on. So, you know, it's all about having that intention to look for things that feel good. That's a joy. That is something that is easy, that's fun, that's joyous. That's what it's about. We didn't come here to suffer and learn lessons and all that other stuff. It's all about the joy. And if you're not tuned into what your own joy is, it's going to be really hard to really make manifesting work, because you know, you're tuned into that resistance, that struggle and everything. And you know, you can struggle all you want, but if you're vibrating that struggle and that you're not good enough and whatever, then that's what's going to keep manifesting. It doesn't matter how many affirmations that you speak, or you light candles, or just whatever things that we do to try to make things happen. It doesn't matter. The universe is only going to give you what you vibrate, not what you do, especially not your actions. So that was the third thing. And I think that's it. You know, this video is 20 minutes now, and it's just pretty long. But that's why I wanted to explain. I just wanted to share my love for the law of attraction and the 8 teachings, and just manifesting this. Just, I've been wanting to talk about and teach about it for like a few years now, and only now when I kind of like gave up the how of it all and everything, that I was inspired to do this. So I feel like I'm walking my talk, but no one's perfect at it. Like, you don't have to be perfect at manifesting or focusing on things. Like, I still focus on crappy things, and there's still crappy things in my life now. But things are definitely a lot better, especially from the time I was doing videos. So, you know, we'll probably talk about that one day soon. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learn something from this, especially if you're like a vibrating manifesting junkie like I am. And you know, what mistakes have you made in manifesting, or what mistakes that you're making now that you think, you know, you would like some insight into? Because like I really want to talk about this more. So if there's any questions or whatever, that'd be great as far as manifesting goes. So I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have like a wonderful day and Thanksgiving holiday, since this is like the beginning of the week. Not sure when it's going to be uploaded, but anyway, have a happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!